Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest issues travelers are facing right now. How to survive air travel when it feels like the whole world is flying at once. We're seeing record passenger numbers in 2025. Airports are packed, flights are oversold, and delays are becoming the new normal. Add in strikes, bad weather, and tight connections, and it can feel like chaos. But here's the good news. With the right strategies, you can minimize disruption and still get where you're going with way less stress. So today, I'll share my best tips, practical, real-world advice you can use before and during your trip. And before we jump into tips, let's set the scene. The International Air Transport Association recently reported a surge in global demand. Millions more people are flying now compared to last year. Airlines are responding by packing flights fuller than ever. That means planes are almost always at capacity. Overbooking is standard practice, and even small disruptions like thunderstorm or crew shortage ripple across the system. On top of that, parts of Europe are dealing with airline and air traffic control strikes. In the US and Canada, staffing shortages still crop up. And in Asia, growing demand is pushing airports to their limits. So, if you've felt like travel is less predictable lately, you're not imagining it. But now let's talk about what you can actually do about it. The first line of defense against disruption happens before you even get to the airport. Tip 1, book the earliest flight of the day. Morning flights are less likely to be delayed since your plane and crew are already at the airport. Once the day builds up, so do the delays. Tip number 2, avoid tight connections. Sure, a 45-minute layover might look efficient, but if one flight is even slightly late, you're sprinting or stranded. Aiming for at least 90 minutes for domestic connections and 2 to 3 hours if you're connecting internationally. Use major hubs wisely. Yes, smaller airports are less crowded, but they also have fewer backup flights if something goes wrong. Sometimes a bigger hub gives you more options to rebook if your flight cancels. Tip number 4, book directly with the airline when possible. Third-party sites might save a few dollars, but if your flight is canceled, rebooking is much harder. Airlines prioritize their own customers first. Remember, the fewer variables you introduce in your booking, the less likely your trip will go off the rails. Once your ticket is booked, the next step is packing. This can literally make or break your trip if disruption happens. Carry-on is king. If at all possible, travel with just a carry-on. If your checked bag gets lost or delayed, you're stuck. A carry-on keeps you mobile, flexible, and stress-free. With some international locations, you may be better off buying clothing there anyhow. If you'll be in the area for a couple weeks, you may get by with 2 sets of clothing till you buy more. Then buy an inexpensive bag to check for the new clothing on the way back. An essentials bag. Even if you check luggage, keep a small essentials kit with you with stuff like medications, a change of clothes, chargers, a power bank, important documents, snacks, and a refillable water bottle. Remember, you're not going to be able to go on the plane with a full water bottle, but fill up there. That way, if you're stranded overnight or your bag takes a side trip to another city, you can still function. I heard from a fellow cruiser recently whose luggage did not make it from state to state. And unfortunately, she had her medication in her checked luggage. That was a mess. She did eventually get the luggage at a port of call. And here's a pro tip: roll your clothes, not fold. You'll fit more in and stay organized. Remember, technology can be your best friend in a crowded travel world, such as with flight tracking apps. Download apps like FlightAware, Flighty, or even your airline's app. Sometimes you'll know about delays before the gate agents do. Remember to set alerts. Many airlines let you sign up for text or app notifications, like for boarding delays or gate changes. Don't rely on airport screens alone. Check in early. This isn't just about saving time. Checking in as soon as online check-ins open, usually 24 hours before departure, increases your odds of keeping your seat if the flight is oversold. Know the alternatives before you fly. Look up what other flights or routes could get you to your destination. If your flight is canceled, you'll already know what to ask for. Remember, the more informed you are, the quicker you can pivot when plans change. All right, let's talk about the airport itself. Arrive early. I learned this from my wife. I know, like me, nobody wants to spend extra hours at the airport. But in 2025, showing up last minute is a gamble. For domestic flights, aim for 2 hours. International, at least 3. Security prep, use programs like TSA PreCheck, Global Entry, or Clear, if available. They're not just conveniences. They're lifelines when lines are massive. Another shout out to my wife, we registered for TSA PreCheck, and it's great. Just don't leave your license at home. I unfortunately made that mistake once. Never again. I was in a rush, and it was a special occasion. We had a driver to the airport who knew, who knew I wouldn't be thinking of my wallet, right? We were delayed. We were delayed sometime while I made some phone calls and had someone ship my wallet to us. That was after we made it to our destination. But remember, stay flexible. If your gate changes or a delay is announced, don't panic. Head to customer service right away. Or better yet, call the airline while you're waiting in line. Often the phone rep can rebook you faster than the desk agent. And pro tip, if you're working with us, we'll be on standby and can be on the phone for you. Less for you to worry about. And then there's lounge access. Even if you're not flying business class, some credit cards or day passes give you access. Lounges are quieter, safer, and often have agents who can help rebook flights. These little airport strategies keep you calm when everyone else is losing their minds. Here's where travel insurance comes in. Not every policy is equal, so look carefully. Trip interruption or cancellation, which covers if flights are canceled, delayed, or if you miss connections. Medical coverage, essential if you're overseas. Lost baggage, peace of mind if your luggage doesn't arrive. Many credit cards also provide built-in travel protections, but check the fine print. Some only kick in if you book the trip entirely on that card. Think of insurance as your backup parachute. You might not need it, but when you do, it's worth its weight in gold. Finally, let's talk mindset. Travel in 2025 requires patience. Things will go wrong, but how you prepare and respond makes all the difference. If your flight is canceled, remember, the gate agent didn't cause a storm, the strike, or the mechanical issue. Stay polite, be persistent, and you're more likely to get help. Build buffer days into big trips. Flying to Europe for a cruise? Don't fly in the day it departs. Give yourself a cushion. And this one's underrated. Bring something that keeps you sane while waiting, such as a book, downloaded shows, music, or even a journal. When you're less stressed, the disruption feels smaller. So let's recap. The survival guide for when everyone's flying. Book smart. Early flights, longer layovers, and direct with airlines. Pack light. Keep essentials in your carry-on. Use tech to track and pivot. Arrive early. Prep for security and use lounges if you can. Protect yourself financially with insurance or credit card benefits. And most importantly, keep your cool and stay flexible. Flying in 2025 doesn't have to be a nightmare. With the right strategies, you can outsmart the chaos and still enjoy your trip. If this video helped, please give a like, subscribe for more travel tips, and hit that bell so you don't miss my next video. And I'd love to know, what's the worst travel disruption you've ever experienced? And how did you handle it? Drop it in the comments below and let's swap some stories. I'm Robert Langley with Cruise Planners at langleyworldtravelers.com, or check the description for our link tree, which is an easy way to access our contact details, our quarterly contest, and weekly travel deals. Together with my wife Heidi, we design custom, stress-free, value-added vacations with exclusive experiences and white glove service without you having to lift a finger. Thanks for watching, safe travels, and I hope to see you on the next one.